And I am alive. Welcome 2026. Today we have a special thing because 2025 just ended. I am making a worst 10 movies of 2025, a top 10 movies of 2025, and I will also recommend 10 movies that came out in the last 5 years. So stick around and let's talk about movies once again. So we will start with movies I recommend. With that being said, these movies are not maybe the top tier or the best that existed. It's just movies I really enjoyed that came out in the last few years. And a lot of these movies had reviews on the channel. And once the video gets uploaded, I should say, you will see in the description which stream or video I did a review on said movies. So let's get into the first movie I recommend, being a movie of 2020. Some of you may not recognize what's in the background, so the title of the movie is Possessor. It's a horror flick sci-fi where someone impersonates someone else and they get so much deep into that cover and that fake personality that she becomes the said person. And that movie was very, very enjoyable. And I remember it was an idea of Cole. I had no idea that movie existed. So thank you very much, Cole, a good friend of the channel, for recommending such movie. Again, it's not the best thing that existed, but I found a lot of enjoyment, and hopefully some of you will also like Possessor. And again, once the video will be uploaded, you will have a link to the original Possessor review I have on the channel. So let's move on to the next movie I recommend. Last Night in Soho. This time around, this was an idea of another good friend of the channel, Grey Poupée. With that being said, Last Night in Soho is a thriller. It's a horror flick. It's a murder mystery. It's a very weird movie, and I will be honest, I haven't seen it in quite some time, but I remember being fun of it. That was a very enjoyable experience about a lady that rents a weird place where weird dreams are happening. And this is as far as I remember. And again, there's a stream where I get to talk about Last Night in Soho. So really, I highly recommend it. Isn't even like as of today, it's been almost 2 years. I ended up watching that movie, and it remains one of my all-time favorite. It's probably in my top 20 or top 30 movie ever. So thank you a lot for great to recommend Last Night in Soho. Let's move on to the next movie. Some of you may not really recognize it, or some of you did. I refer to another 2021 movie being Black Phone. Black Phone is a very, very interesting horror flick where we got a kid snatcher. I hopefully it's YouTube friendly, but he basically gets kids without their consent, and that's really disgusting. And he toys with them, and he breaks them mentally, and then he cut them off to remain YouTube friendly. And the idea is there's a sister of a taken brother, and that sister has some weird power where she has ideas that she shares with the cops, and she has ideas. And again, it's a very interesting movie. I've seen it recently, and it's really hard to talk about that movie without spoiling the entire thing. And I really want you to get a look at that movie and go watch it. So, Black Phone, I think, is a future classic. And now Let's move on to 2022 with the next movie. It got a sequel, just like Black Phone. So we speak about Smile, a movie where there's a some kind of monster that take over people's body, and it make them paranoid and see things, and then they end their own lives. And if there was a witness to that, the witness get that same sickness and illness, and it's passed on from person to person. And this first movie was really centered around that poor lady that was the psychologist that really wanted to help, and all of the bad stuff and terrible stuff happened to her. And the sequel was amazing. I really liked the sequel as well. They teased the third one. Hopefully, it won't happen. But again, that's 2022. So still in 2022, but that movie came out a year later. But if you search on letterboxd, it's the 2022 movie. So let's get into it. Some of you may not recognize it. This is Talk to Me. Talk to Me is another horror flick. Yes, it's been like four horror flick in a row. Actually, five with Possessor. Sorry, but the next few will be very different. Well, very different. That's a poor choice of word, I think. But um yeah. So that movie was something else. It adds some kind of messaging about substance use. It was a very fun trip, and I've seen that movie at a time. I wasn't the biggest fan of horror flick. Yes, I admit that. There was a time I thought it was all slasher, all the same thing. And then Cole told me, "Yeah, that's a cool film from people that made indie stuff on YouTube prior." It piqued my curiosity, and I ended up watching it. I have no regrets. I think that was one of the first few horror flick outside of Get Out that I really enjoyed, and it remains a standout movie. Talk to Me is a very fun experience, and again, I don't really want to spoil the entire thing, but you will find my review in the description below. So go take a look. It's worth your time. Even if you're not a horror fan, maybe you will find some enjoyment. So let's move on to the next one. And now we enter 2023. If you don't speak French, you have no idea what it says. So I will translate for you. Red Rooms. 2023 was a very good year for movie. I'd say in the last 5 years we had amazing stuff, except maybe 2020. I think 2020 was probably the worst year. But I think every year came out with great movies and also not so great. But I think Red Room is one of the standout movie. It remains as of right now in my top 10 movie ever. I really love that thing. I had so many very interesting talk. So the idea is someone is taking people against their will, and he does all kind of stuff, if you know what I mean, and it's really disgusting, and it's on the dark web. And now the guy goes on trial, and now we got the lead that sees the fact and the truth, and she's stone cold and she has issues with the guy, but she also knows so much because she is so invested in the case. She dug herself really deep into the dark web to have a good idea of what happened. And we got that other person that's a fan of that monster. And they have such polar opposites. And well, the fan actually, I will be honest, it's very far in my memory, but if I remember correctly, they had very different point of view on things, and the movie was also treating how the media treats that kind of event, and it was a very fun movie. And the lead was a self-sufficient person that was making lots of money, while the other person she was exchanging with was very dependent on a lot of things, and it's far away. Give me some leeway. The review is far better, but go watch that. It's a great movie. Red Rooms, and it's kind of shocking because usually I don't really like what's made in Quebec, and I do think this movie was made in Quebec, and that's a very good trailer. So still in 2023, but this movie, even if it's made in 2023, it came out a year later. So let's get into it. This is one of the hardest movie to talk about without spoiling. Rewind. Without spoiling the entire thing. So I will say that you like thriller, you like slasher, you will like it. You like to see something and not being able to predict what happens. That's your movie. The premise is a date with a serial slasher to rewind to remain YouTube friendly. So there's a serial slasher that meets a date and events unfold. That movie is an hour and a half and they tell the story out of order. And this is as much I can tell you without spoiling the entire thing. Again, you want to hear more about that? You know where to click in the description below once the video will be up on the channel. So coming next, we got this time around a true 2024 movie. A true one. Usually I am not the biggest fan of romance and love stories because most of the movies in that type of movie feel the same, are wrote the same, they tell the same thing. But that thing was something else. That movie had art. I teared up while watching it. I had a few issues with that movie. It's not a masterpiece, but it's a movie I felt all sorts of things while watching. It's a movie I really enjoyed. We follow the lives of a couple, and it's out of order. We get to meet them. We get to see their divorce. We get to see how they conceived their first kid. We got to see her fighting a cancer. Hopefully, it remains YouTube friendly. It's a movie with great actors telling a great story about true love, about what matters. It's all in time. It's all in time. So again, I think that movie is an amazing movie with Andrew Garfield, aka Spider-Man, and Florence Pugh, great actress. Highly recommend. Go watch that if you want a heartwarming movie with strong message about love and that kind of stuff. Coming next, Anora. That one won prizes left and right. It remains one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm scared 2026 may have great movies that will topple it and remove it, but as of right now, as I am recording this, Anora isn't my top 10 movie ever. I adore that thing. Basically, it's a streetwalker that gets to meet a spoiled brat that has rich oligarch as parents. And there's that playfulness between them. And they are both broken persons in different ways. And it's about, can true love be achieved through money? Can it? True question. And the other thing is, can an oligarch take you seriously? when everything to that person is a game. It's a very, very good movie. It also highlights how people from different social classes act, and it's hilarious. And there's also that sadness that doesn't necessarily make you tear up, but you feel sorry for some of the characters and what they experience. I tried my best not to spoil anything because I want you to get to see that movie. So, Honora, go watch it. Go watch it. Highly recommend. Amazing one. So, let's go to the final suggestion, which is a 2025 movie this time around. And that one may surprise you. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You is a great movie that came out in 2025. Highly recommend. Is it top 10 material? I don't think so, but it's a movie worth watching. It's a movie worth your time. I was confused even after I left the room because I think I was kind of stupid and I didn't get everything the movie had to offer, but there are strong messages about parenting, love, and how we shame people when they are bad parents, and how some people don't really take accountability about anything, and how some people are not fit to be parents. It's a very sad and interesting movie about a neglecting mother that just happened to be a mother. And it's kind of sad. And the characters are very likable and enjoyable. We barely get to see the daughter, and maybe the daughter doesn't even exist. And we also get that mother that's the main character. She is also a therapist that needs therapy herself. It's a movie about mental illness, deep trauma. Go watch that. It's a great movie, and I don't remember seeing anything like that in recent memories. It's something special. It's something to be seen. I kind of spoiled aspect of it without spoiling. So that was 10 movies I did end up watching, enjoying, and I recommend all of these titles. Go watch them. And if you want to hear more about any of these movies, I will leave them in the description below if I did a review on these movies. With that being said, you know what to do if you enjoy the content. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you soon for more reviews of TV shows and movies, and also gaming. There is everything for everyone on this channel. Have a great one and take care.